This is Eat, Sleep, Invest, the marketing podcast for real estate investors to get more deals. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Eat, Sleep, and Invest. I'm your host, Bryan Trevor, and we have Trevor Mauch back with us to talk about some hamster wheel marketing. Hey, what's going on, Trevor?
Bryan, what's up, dude? I love the name of the podcast too, because it's got the essentials, right? Eat, sleep, and then get out there and run that business investment.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? So I know you talk about the hamster wheel marketing, burning out, things like that. Like, go into that a little bit and tell us a little more about what you're talking about there.
Yeah, dude. So one thing I discovered, if you guys haven't watched the first episode that Bryan and I did, where we kind of talk about the backstory and talk about how I discovered that I was in the marketing hamster, we'll go check that one out. But dude, there's two types of marketing, right? Basically, there's the type of marketing that's outbound marketing, and that's and it works, right? Direct mail, cold calling, driving for dollars, knocking on doors, whatever it is. All those types of things, they work really, really well. But what they are is, with outbound marketing, you're sending out a message to somebody, and usually you have some sort of a list that you're sending out to, and you're hoping that there's a number of people in that list that might want your service, right? But you always have to be doing the activity in order to make that work. You always have to have someone pick up the phone and call. You always have to be sending out new direct mail drops. You always have to be driving for dollars or having someone do it for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Especially in the early days, you've got to hustle to do anything that you can do to get your first deals, right? Some of our most successful customers at Carrot, some of them got their first deals done with driving for dollars, right? Just to get the cash. But then they're like, I don't want to do that anymore because I don't want to be trapped to my business. I don't want to be on this marketing hamster wheel where I always have to be doing this thing in order to have the result come in. And then you've got what we call evergreen marketing. Evergreen marketing is where you do something one time and then it works for a long, 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 long time. Okay. And I'll give you guys an example for it. Here at Carrot, we have, Bryan's a client of ours. We have a lot of clients. And if you're to do Google searches for phrases that a motivated house seller might type in, or a cash home buyer or whatever, and you go to Google and type something like investment properties in, or wholesale real estate in Louisville, or sell my house fast Louisville, or whatever it is. That's a constant, steady stream of the most motivated prospects going to Google to say, I've got a problem that I need solved. And those websites that are ranked at the top of Google, whether it's in organic or even the paid side of things, are the ones who are getting in front of those people in an evergreen fashion, right? But here's the thing. You only created that content once. That page, that location page on our Carrot website, you launched the content created at one time. You've done some optimizations to it, but that one activity actually ends up yielding fruit for potentially years. We have a lot of our clients that started the Carrot website and did the work, and they did it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, and they're still getting the leads every single month from efforts that they did 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. So evergreen essentially is you do something one time and it works for years. Hamster wheel means you do something one time and the lifespan of that goes away in about 90 days or so. So you always have to get back on it. And the high level, Bryan, is I think both are needed, right? It really depends on your business. I'm going to do a share of my iPad here in a bit, but it depends on your business. If you're in a big market, we have clients in Dallas as an example, and I was talking with Adam and Lance down there, the home buying guys down in Dallas, and they crush it. And they're going to hit $1 million this year. Last year it was about 500,000, and one of them left their job, and the other one still has a full-time job. So they're doing almost $1 million a year, guys, as full-time investors, but one of them has a part-time job still, and he's even leaving that job. And they're doing it 100% online, 100% online with SEO, Facebook ads, and Google ads. That's it. $1 million in a market. Now, if they want to get to 10 million or 5 million, they're going to have to do outbound marketing. They're going to have to do some direct mail. They're going to have to get out there and do cold calling, whatever it is. If they're going to get to 5 or 10, they're going to have to do outbound marketing. Okay. Now, if you're in a small market, let's say you're in a market of 500,000 people versus a Dallas, and let's say you want to do $1 million a year, you're probably not going to be able to get to $1 million a year in a market of 500,000 or 250,000 just on SEO. Maybe you will. Maybe you can land some of those big deals, and you're in a market like a San Francisco where the margins are really high, or you're in another market where the margins are really high. Boston, We've got the biggest home buyer in Boston, Tom Caffarella, has been a Carrot client for years, and their margins are 70 something thousand dollars is their average profit right now. So you'd have to do too many deals to get to $1 million a year. You could technically do that 100% with organic SEO, right? It just depends on your market dynamics. But yeah, guys, inbound and outbound are the two ways. They're both amazing. You just have to figure out what your income goals are, what your market can bear, and then focus on do you want freedom from your business, which Evergreen will give you that, or do you want to be tied to your business forever, which outbound does that?
Yeah, and that stuff's true too, because I know we've talked about before, you have SEO and then you have paid. Like I look at SEO as owning a house, paid advertising, like renting the house. Paid will get you results in like 2 weeks, but once you pull that ad spend away, your traffic goes away immediately. Which it works really well with SEO, because SEO's working might take a little bit to start ranking, but once you're ranking there, you're not paying for any traffic. It's all free traffic. And the intent, if someone types in sell my house fast or sell my house for cash, they know what they're looking for. And if you can be in front of them and look presentable, like a reputable business that's not going to rip them off, there's a very high likelihood you're going to meet with them and be able to help them with their needs.
Dude, 100%. I'm going to pull up my my iPad. So for those of you watching the video version of this, we're going to have a little bit of a Trevor iPad time right now with you guys.
I love it.
If you guys are listening to this, I'm sure Brian's going to probably put this up on YouTube. So go check out the YouTube side of things, guys. But I'm going to share a couple things visually here to kind of help to break down that model of evergreen marketing. Okay, so first of all, Evergreen, basically, this isn't the graphic I was looking for. Let me see if I can find the actual graphic. Evergreen basically is marketing that kind of has a slow burn. It grows over time. And so as you can see from this graphic here, starting in month 0, and if we're looking at this over here on the left side as leads or dollars or whatever it is, it's results basically. You can see at the start, you're not getting a lot of results immediately. That first 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes even 5 months, you're not getting a lot of results. What we say is it's called the 261 formula. Tyler Ford, one of our clients, made up the 261 formula. And the 261 formula is you're gonna work your butt off for the first 2 months. You're gonna launch your authority hub. That's what we call the websites here at Carrot, as an authority hub, because websites aren't enough anymore. Just a website is not enough. You have to have that authority hub for all of it, so it's the home of all of your marketing. If you do direct mail, your website now is going to be one of your biggest conversion mechanisms for your direct mail or for your cold calling, because people are going to Google you. All of your outbound marketing creates online demand. So if you do a cold call, if you do a direct mail, they're going to pick up the phone and go, who is this company? And then your website or your authority hub should be the thing that builds trust, builds credibility, and ends up converting them. So that first month, you really need to build that authority hub out, right? So get that website out. The high converting website, which is what we focus on here at Carrot, taking care of for you. And then you start to do some of the other things to get your website ranked high. Now, we're not going to dive into SEO in detail on this call. Brian's a master at that, but there is work you got to do in that first 2 months to really get the foundation going. And then you still got to work your butt off for the first 6 months, right? Your work dials down a little bit after that first 2 months, but you're still going to be probably putting a few hours a week in and building some backlinks and just kind of adjusting some of your content and things like that the first 6 months. We usually start to see right around that month 4 to 6, depending on which market you're in. If you're starting from scratch, that's probably where you'll get maybe your first lead might come in from SEO, right? Around month 4 to 6. I've seen it happen quicker and I've seen it take longer, depending on how well the person executed it, right? But where the momentum picks up, Brian, and you know this because you're an expert on this, is your momentum picks up if you're implementing the plan around that month 6 mark, 8 mark, month 8 mark, month 12. Year 2 is where the magic happens, because now you've got momentum. And this is where you start to really get that consistency. Now you're getting leads every single week, in some cases every single day. You know, Keith Sant, you've had a chance to meet at a Carrot Camp about a year and a half ago. He hit me up. He's like, "This is my first lead day, or first 3 lead day," and now he's doing 3 to 5 leads a day in his market, and he does 8 to 10 deals a month, 100%. Well, about 80% from organic, the other 20% from bandit signs. Right?
Yeah, Keith does a pretty good job on the organic side.
Dude, Keith is amazing, man. Like, that's the thing. He put his head down and did the work. Is it easy? It's not easy, guys, but you're either going to work your butt off for the next 15 years doing outbound marketing, hamster wheel marketing, or you're going to work your butt off for the next 6 months doing evergreen marketing, then maintaining it. Or you can just pay someone like Brian and Chad to do that marketing for you, right? Which is what I personally would do now. Okay. But I had to learn all this stuff the hard way. But the question you guys might have is, well, shoot, so what if I want to do investing right now? Do I legit have to wait for 5, 6, 7, 8 months to get any leads? No, you don't. So that's where paid marketing comes in. And that's where Motivated Leads, once again, is amazing at paid marketing and SEO. Is in that first 3, 4, 5, 6 months, I always launch Google paid ads or Facebook ads. Depends on what's going to work well in your market, right? So in that first month or two, we're going to launch a Google campaign or a Facebook campaign, depending on what works best in that market. Get leads and traffic coming in right now while you're building your evergreen foundation down here. And the cool thing is, right around this time period, around that 6, 8, 10, 12 month time period, you should have your paid ads working at that point, bringing in leads and deals on a monthly basis, hopefully. And then over here, your evergreen, your organic should start to pick up. And that's where you really start to get your freedom.
Yeah, and that's huge too, because they do work so well together. Even with SEO too down the road, like you have retargeting. I see a lot of guys having huge success talking about evergreen stuff too, which is not, it's kind of on the evergreen side. A lot of guys putting videos of themselves out also while they're doing that. Organic traffic comes into the website. They want to sell their house. Put videos or testimonials in front of them, building your credibility, because they might just be searching. Like you figure when someone's searching in Google, they're just initially looking right now,
Dude, 100%. And I've got this other graphic I brought up to kind of piggyback on what you were saying there, Bryan. And you guys heard me mention Authority Hub here a little bit, right? And everyone's thinking website. Everyone's thinking website, guys. Websites were 3, 4 years ago. Okay. In our first video that we had talked about kind of our story and our journey here at Carrot, 2000 through 2012 or so, that decade or so was all about just getting online, right? That's when GoDaddy popped up, Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, your mom and pop web developers, everybody and their dog was coming out of the woodworks to help you get online. Google had commercials, during that time. It's like, let's get online. And that was the whole aim, is just to get people online. And then around 2012 or so, most businesses knew that they needed to get online, and most were online. And we were having people come to me saying, I'm online, but this is before Carrot, I'm online, but man, I'm not getting results. I'm not ranking high in Google. When people are getting there, they're not turning into a lead. And it's because people were thinking about getting online as the success point versus building a website that actually performs and actually helps you stand out. And so this last couple of years, as you look at the real estate market, and the real estate market, let me show this really quick. The real estate market, guys, we're in this transition point in real estate right now. And the stockbroker market went through the same transition about 20 years ago. The travel industry has gone through the same transition the last decade. The taxi cab industry has gone through the same transition the last decade with Uber and Lyft and all those. And now real estate technology is finally catching up with the shifts, with the pain points in the real estate transaction. Guys, no one, if you were to ask 100 out of 100 sellers, not one of those sellers, unless they had an allegiance to their Aunt Sally, who's an agent, not one of those sellers would actually choose to sell with an agent if they had the choice of selling today for cash for a price that they think is fair, right? So no sellers think that it's a better experience to go list with an agent, wait the 3, 4, 5, 6 months, pay the agent the fee, have all the open houses, have people walk through the house, have to have the house all fixed up, versus saying, okay, Bryan's going to offer me X and I can close next week and I'm fine at this price. No sellers would choose the retail option. So why do 85% plus of all sellers in the country choose to go retail? It's because that's what they know. It's because that's what they trust. And for those people who aren't motivated, of course, that is what's going to get them ultimately the most cash in their pocket oftentimes, right? So retail is always going to be well over 50% of the market. It's probably going to be over 70% of the market. But I think we're going to find cash home buyers is going to actually be eating up more of the market this next several years. You guys have already seen that. Now, Zillow stopped buying houses recently because they had a terrible model, but it's not stopping Open Door. It's not stopping OfferPad. They're actually stepping into it further. And so what we're seeing right now is we're seeing a disruption. You have retail over here, like I talked about, that's listing it with an agent. That's people that want full price offers, right? In general. Then you have wholesale over here, which is house flippers, wholesalers. It's the cash offer. And these are people who have some level of motivation. They have a motivation where they're willing to trade speed and convenience. They're willing to trade a lower dollar amount for speed and convenience. And that's where I think that's going to keep on getting better. But your Zillows, your Open Doors offer pads right here in the middle, they're actually making the direct home buying process mainstream right now. So if you look at electric cars, there's this Tesla effect, right? And the Tesla effect, no one wanted electric cars before Tesla came out. Like Chevy made the Volt and no one wanted those cars, right? Tesla made it mainstream and cool. So now actually the entire electric auto market is growing because of the Tesla effect, because they made it mainstream. Okay. What's happening now with direct home buying is Open Door, OfferPad, and Zillow. They are making direct home selling mainstream. They're making it to where the general person recognizes and goes, oh, I can sell my house for cash to these companies. And so many of our clients that are real estate agents are coming and they're saying they actually have sellers that are coming to them saying they want a cash offer on their home as well now. The sellers are starting to dictate that they want a cash offer on their home. Okay. And so this is where we're going to see the wholesale market and the retail market start to converge more here in the middle, which is going to create it. So you need to have that hybrid side of things. I want our clients being able to go through and say, hey, I'm going to solve your problem no matter what it is. If you want full cash offer, amazing. I'm an agent and then we can list it, or let me refer you over to my agent buddy. They can list it for full price. Oh, you want speed and convenience? Amazing. Here's a cash offer for you. And so that's the future here. Now, why is this important? Because as this is happening in a market that's really hot, what happens, Bryan, and you know this in your audience knows this, when a market's hot, everybody wants to do it. Okay, when a market's hot, there's been more real estate agents that have entered the market this past X amount of years than in a long time. There's been a ton of people that have entered the market to wholesale and flip, and that creates more competition. And so when you have more competition and you have a market where more and more people are going online to research you as a company before they work with you, what happens is we need to build trust. This is the age where we need to build trust more than ever with our markets so we can stand out from those iBuyers, from your Zillow's, OfferPads, Open Doors, and from all the other competition. And this is where we need to build authority. And the only way to build authority is with content. Like you can build authority one-on-one, sitting across a coffee table, talking about your expertise, and that builds authority with that one person. You can build authority right here with what we're doing. It's taking information and putting it out there for people so they can see that you're an expert in what you're in and they can trust you. Or you can do it one-to-many in an evergreen fashion by taking content and putting it up on your website, like you're mentioning, testimonials, reviews. You can have on your about page, hey, I'm Trevor with XYZ Home Buyers, and you're here probably looking to sell your house or see what we're about. Well, here's why we do what we do, and here's how we do it. And we'd love to help serve you. You could have your How It Works page have a video on it that says, hey, this is Trevor with ABC Home Buyers. You're probably wondering how the heck this direct cash home buying process works. You're familiar with listing with an agent, but you might not be familiar with this. Let me on my whiteboard draw out for you, and I'm going to show you how the process works. I'm going to show you exactly what one of our offers looks like, so it's transparent the whole way. Create content and put it on your authority hub. It's going to help you build authority and stand out and convert more and more and more. All right, guys. So the authority hub, part of it is really important, really critical to standing out in this market and converting more people into deals.
Yeah, and that's huge too on the hub, because you figure there's so many different stages. Like say we're talking testimonials. Well, you have people coming in through the blog. They're just information lookers. They're thinking about selling. They now found you. Okay, now we can stay in front of them, things like that, versus the people that are really motivated, come to the landing page, they fill out your form. So all that kind of stuff works well together. And then just even having things like that too for your mental being.
Yep.
You're not riding those roller coasters. You're not going to get the quick win like first day out, but it's going to be a gradual growth that's way more stable, that's more sustainable, and in your future mental person, whatever you want to call it, will thank you, because you're not sitting there being like stressing all the time. Oh, I just had a big win, but I don't know where the next one's coming.
Yep, exactly. And dude, I'm going to show really quick because as people are thinking about their website and their authority hub, I'm just going to show a few examples that people can kind of model some of these elements. And Tony Robbins has a great quote. I'm going to butcher it basically, but one of the best ways to essentially get where you want to go is find someone who's already done it and model them. You don't want to rip it off. You want to have your own take to it, but model it. And so I want you guys to take some of these and model some of these concepts. Okay. So I actually love what Bryan has done with his carrot site, which is almost nothing, because he's just driving to it. It converts, it works. Could it convert better with some other credibility? I don't know. Maybe, right? That's the thing. Maybe, probably, but how much? I don't know. It already works from default, but here's a few that people did some customization using our visual editor. This right here is Christina Kudlock. She's been to Carrot Camp, amazing gal. And when you launch your website, your authority hub, make sure it's got the localized images, right? Make sure that you go in there and swap out the images so they are local to your area. We have some people that still keep the default image and they're in like whatever it is. They're in Arizona and it looks like it's a house from the Northeast or something like that. So you got to make sure that when people land there, they can feel and know that this is a company that serves me. Okay. So they land here right away. They can tell what markets they're in. Then you need to start to answer the questions. When someone lands there, the first question popping up in their mind is can this company help me? Right? They've got a problem that they're going through. They inherited a house. They are going through foreclosure. They're a landlord and they can't get this tenant out of there that's squatting the property. They've got a pain point they need to solve. And within a few seconds on that website, you need to have them be comfortable to know that you can solve their problem. So right here, if I need to sell my house in Los Angeles, I can tell them I'm going to get a cash offer really quickly because the website says, and it says, we're not realtors. We don't have any fees. It's free. Get started. Right? It's like, okay, I feel comfortable that they can probably solve my solution. The next question that pops up in their mind, and this is where your authority hubs need to answer this stuff. And you can see these different ones I'm showing you for watching the YouTube version of this. I'm flipping through a few of these. But then the next question is, well, how the heck does this thing work? Like, I understand how it works to go with an agent. I'm going to pay the 5 to 6% in between the buyer and the seller, and I'm going to have to do an open house, but I don't know how this works. And so logically, that next thing, you need to have a page that shows them how it works. And on Carrot, automatically, it's going to be there. Like you click the button to launch one of these sites. We already have the whole site structured for you. All the right content, all the right conversion elements. You just need to go in there and personalize it with your own stuff like Christina has done. And so she built out some of the content. She talks about how it works. She brings in a little bit of their credibility in here. And one thing that I love, they actually even broke down how the heck they make their offers, right? Like they're telling exactly how they make offers and how it works and whatever it is. So after someone goes through that and they're like, okay, I understand how it works. Now the next question that goes through their mind, Bryan, is, okay, I understand how it works. Now, are they legit? Like, should I work with them versus the other 7 investors that hit me with direct mail or a cold call, or the other ones that checked out their websites? And so that's where it's really important on your website then to have a good Our Company page or about page. And we already have that set up for you on Carrot. You just need to log into it and add a photo of yourself or your team. Talk about who you are and what you do. Make people feel comfortable that you're real humans, like Christina has done. They're real humans with real smiles and real people. And they seem like they're nice enough, right? They have core values. So Christina put on here a video that talks about her company and her core values. Now, you don't have to do this stuff. Okay, Tom Caffarella up here, he's the largest home buyer in all of Boston. And you can see, and I'm just going to verbalize this. You can see he updated it with testimonials and credibility. He's got his Better Business Bureau on there. He does a lot of TV commercials. So he's an as seen on TV guy now. He links up his Google reviews. And then he just basically talks about his company, has a picture of himself, and that's pretty much it, right? He's got a little bit of his team and stuff. That credibility, guys, and trust is going to be really big. And one of the big things to do that is your website has to be easy to navigate. It needs to be great on mobile, because over 60% of all the leads that come through our clients' websites, which is tons of them every single year, over 5 million over the past 6 years, and about 700,000 to 800,000 every single year right now. The majority of them come through mobile devices right now. The majority of all leads come through mobile devices. And so if someone's on a mobile device and they're bopping around your site, can they navigate it easily? Does it look good? Do they feel like they can get the right information quickly? And that's what we really, really focus on here at Carrot, is helping you to build that authority hub so you stand out. And I'll finish it with this, Bryan, is one thing that we found. There's a client, Carter Steph, the largest home buyer in Oklahoma City. He moved over from a custom WordPress site to Carrot, $10,000 custom WordPress site, moved over, ditched that over to Carrot about 4 years ago. And the thing that he was the most surprised with, Bryan, was he did get a conversion increase by quite a bit on the visitor to the lead, just because it's optimized better. But what he didn't predict, and we did, was he actually saw a dramatic increase in his lead to deal close ratio. Yeah. So the lead to deal close ratio. And this was only from the traffic he was already getting. So this was from his radio and TV commercials where people were going to the internet and searching up his company. This wasn't any new ads. This wasn't any new SEO, nothing. Just the existing traffic he already had. His lead to deal close ratio increased by 40%. But 40%. It was huge. And it was because of credibility. It was because he went from just a website that had a form and had some of the right things to an authority hub where every clicker on the website was structured in a way to where it built trust, built credibility, and was very easy to use. And when it became time for them to make a decision, like, I feel like this company is just more credible and trustworthy, I'm going to work with them. You lose one deal a year, y'all, from underperformance, that's 20 to 30 grand in lost deals because of that one little tweak that wasn't made on your custom site that your cousin Eddie made, because he's good at launching sites but not good at optimization. Okay, so that's what we focus on, so you guys can just be investors. But the evergreen side of things, guys, 261 formula. You're going to work quite a bit the first 2 months, or hire it out to Bryan and his team. Okay, you're going to launch that authority hub. You're going to get the credibility on there. You're going to get a good about page built up. They're going to swap out some of your photos, or hire our team to do that customization. Have Bryan's team do the SEO if you don't want to do that. Okay, and then you should be getting your first SEO leads maybe around the month 4 to 6 mark, depending on your market. Like maybe your first lead, like in month 4 or month 6, and then from month 6 to 12, you should start to get maybe a lead a week. Right. And then around eight, maybe you're getting 2 or 3 leads a week, depending on your market. Right. And then maybe around month 12, now you're getting, a handful of leads a week, and then it starts to scale in year 2. And our aim with SEO and on the Evergreen side all the time is in year 1. What our aim is, Bryan, is we want to have you double your investment in SEO in year 1. Right. If you're going to pay someone, let's say $1,500 a month to do SEO, that's 18 grand a year. That's not a small investment. But if you close one deal on that in that first year to 14 months, that one deal should replenish that entire investment that you made. And now year 2 is where momentum really picks up. And now you should be closing multiple deals and having a crazy ROI. And your ROI actually gets better and better and better every single year.
Yeah, that's huge stuff. And those websites look really nice. Like, as you said, like I have a stock carrot website. Mine converts, but I got the Glenn Gary leads that come through our site, But hey, if anybody, because I'm not really a design guy on websites, and I know a lot of investors aren't either. You said you guys can handle that for them too, right? Like you can make them look nice, go through that. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. So guys, what Bryan did was when he became a Carrot member, he used our tool to choose which website he wanted, a motivated seller site or a cash buyer site or a land site or whatever. You click the button, and then our system launches the website in a fully optimized format with all the content on it, all the pages already created, and the basic title tags for SEO. Now, if you want to then go personalize it, then you would log into there in that visual editor and update the content, swap around some photos, and then rewrite some of that content for SEO so it's not duplicate, right? But if you really want to make it stand out like some of the ones I showed, we have our concierge team that can then take it and really dial in the visual more, really work with you to go, let's go find all of your credibility that you have out there and make sure it's accounted for on this website in some way, shape, or form. And so, yeah, you guys would just hit up our support team and say, hey, I'd love to hear about the concierge. And it's we have a marketplace.carrot.com if you're a customer, and then you can find our services in there. So we've got an array of services where we can help people do the work. The way that I think about any marketing, Bryan, is this: you've got do it yourself, you got DIY, you've got done with you, and then you've got done for you. Okay. So most of our clients choose DIY, where they're going to launch the Carrot site, they're going to go through our training, they're going to hop on our weekly coaching calls, they're going to do the work, they're going to come back, ask us questions, go back and do the work. They're doing it themselves, right? But we equip you with the right support and information. A lot of our clients then want the done with you. We're like, I'm going to do part of it. I want to launch the site and do that. I want to dial it in, but then I need help with the SEO. Or, I want someone to dial in my website and do the concierge, but I'm going to do the SEO myself, or whatever it is. So we have done with you programs. The done for you are guys like Bryan. That's where the concierge does do the website setup for you. But then if you want the marketing done, that's where you connect with motivated leads and have them do the Facebook ads for you, have them do the other things for you. So guys, just decide, do you want to do it yourself, have it done with you, or done for you? The further up the scale towards done for you, of course, the bigger investment of money, but also the lower investment of time. The further towards DIY, the higher the investment of time, the lower investment of money.
That's cool. That's some really good stuff. Hey, we're going to wrap it up. Trevor, tell them how they can get a hold of you, Instagram, website, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, guys. So follow me on Instagram, Trevor.Mauch. That's Mauch. We put up a bunch of good content for you guys. Bryan and Chad have been on there as well. And then, carrot.com. We have a lot of great content over on our blog and our podcast, carrotcast.com. Check out the podcast over there as well.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for coming. And for everyone, go out there and crush it.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.